Hey everybody, this is TJR. If you haven't heard yet, Dave Grohl has announced the release of a new musical project entitled Play. It will be coming out on August 10th, and it's a two-part documentary. In this documentary, Grohl will unveil and perform a 23-minute song wherein he plays all the instruments, 7 total. Part 1 will feature Dave Grohl as he preps for the project and films it. This, of course, will result in a multiplane video where the general public will see him performing all the instruments at once. And it'll, from the clips I've seen, the previews, it looks like you will see him in the room 7 times performing all these different instruments as the camera, shifts around showing the various different performances. Now, part 2 of the documentary will just have him performing the entire piece, the entire 23-minute piece. That's it. In a press statement, Dave Grohl stated, "It's a project designed to demonstrate the rewards and challenges of dedicating one's life to playing and mastering a musical instrument." He also went on to say that, "Watching my kids start to play music and learn to sing or play drums, it brings me back to the time when I was their age, listening to albums, learning from listening. And when I take my kids to the place where they take their lessons, I see these rooms full of children that are really pushing themselves to figure this out." He also goes on to state, "Even now as a 49-year-old man, I'm still trying to figure it out. It's not something that you ever truly master. You're always chasing the next challenge, and you're always trying to find ways to improve on what you've learned." Speaking as a musician too, I can agree with this 100%. You never truly master the instrument. You just keep trying to improve. And it's always filled with challenges. Now, I think this particular project and the way that he's presenting it is important for a number of reasons. By doing it in this fashion, he's making a public statement, using himself as an example that professional musicians and music artists should always challenge themselves and never be content. Doing something like this is a way of telling the general public that learning an instrument is a never-ending process without being preachy. Ever since the advent of Napster and illegal file sharing of music, I have watched both music and musicians be devaluated in the public eye, and I have borne witness to this from my own personal experiences. Additionally, I feel that making a video like this in a public way makes the statement and makes the case that learning and mastering an instrument and the creation of an original piece of music is a lot of work and that it is something to be valued. Now, if Dave Grohl had just released a 23-minute instrumental to the public and said, "I played all the instruments myself," certainly musicians would be curious. But I think the rest of the general public would say, "Oh, okay," or "Oh, that's neat." And that would be the end of it. But by doing this 2-part documentary, he, number one, shows the process, invites the general public into the process. And it's an intriguing way to present it. It's an entertaining way to present it. Then, of course, after you've watched how he has done this, you're intrigued to watch the entire performance, to listen to the entire piece. I feel that it's just the right amount of theatrics to arouse the curiosity of the general public and get them to listen to a 23-minute instrumental musical piece. And that's another thing. It's an instrumental, something that is sadly lacking in the current landscape of popular music culture. And this wasn't always so. Instrumental pieces made the top 10 back when I was a kid. It was not uncommon. I mean, the majority of songs that you heard on the radio that made the top 10, of course, had vocals, but instrumentals would regularly make the top 10. And personally, I think it would be a great thing to see the instrumental make a comeback. I don't expect that this particular exercise will change the general public's perception of musicians and musicianship overnight, but something like this could plant a seed, the beginning of that thought. And I would encourage other big-name music artists to challenge themselves in a very similar and a very public way. Do it theatrically. Make a big statement with it. Now, before I close, I also wanted to mention that Play will also be released as a limited edition vinyl on September 28th. I see it at $17.98 for pre-order on Amazon, or as a digital version on iTunes that will include both video and audio for $2.98. Google Play will have just the audio only for digital download for $1.99. No public word yet as to whether or not this piece will be available on streaming services like Tidal and Spotify and Apple Music, but knowing Dave Grohl, I have a feeling that it will be available there as well, so you can listen to the full 23-minute piece. And I would be willing to bet that on some of those streaming services you're going to have the video. I would expect to see it on Tidal. I would expect to see it on Apple Music. It also wouldn't surprise me if you saw the two-part documentary available on Netflix Instant as well. This is TJR. So what do you think? Are you curious about this? Do you want to check it out? And to you musicians out there, what do you think? Do you think this could begin a change in how the public perceives musicians and music in the 21st century? Let me know your thoughts. As always, if you like what I do, please be sure to click the subscribe button. Be sure to click the bell notifications icon, especially if you're currently subscribed. Do that so you can know when I release new videos. Thanks everyone for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you.